Samus Aran is one powerful woman. If you have been on this channel, you are no doubt familiar with the myriad of scaling videos I have made regarding our favorite bounty hunter. But even I could not cover literally everything in those videos. So today I want to look at some of Samus' most obscure and most random abilities. So without further ado, let's take a look. From the original Metroid and blasting random space bugs, all the way to Metroid Dread and fighting the insidious X-Parasites, a staple of Metroid has been that upon killing an enemy, Samus will be able to collect some sort of health or ammunition drop from them. Whilst it might seem to be just an innocuous gameplay mechanic, in fact this has been a part of Samus' lore since the very first game, explaining that she's able to convert the energy of her dead enemies into health and ammo drops she needs. What's more, given that the only other being known to have this ability is Dark Samus, which we see in Prime 3 when she kills the other bounty hunters, it is implied that this power is only unique and solely owned by Samus, and those who inherit her DNA and no one else. Speaking of a power that only Samus can use, Samus does have a type of time and fate manipulation respectively. Starting with the latter, according to one of her Chozo fathers, or she has 5 fathers, Grey Voice, Samus by her very nature creates timelines and possibilities to the point that even Mother Brain cannot calculate all of them, which is quite impressive when you consider that she's a super advanced Chozo biocomputer. The branched timelines are likely first seen in Metroid Prime Hunters, in which Guria, in one timeline, does win in the end, and in another, Samus wins the day. And I think this is a direct example of this power. As for time manipulation, it's more likely time destruction. You see, when Samus attains the blessing of and the power of the Animus at the end of Samus and Joey, she actually received 2 gifts. The first, of course, being the famous White Hole feat. Now, the very nature of this ability is reason enough why Samus never uses it again. But there is a second ability tied into it. It is that should Samus use the White Hole, then she will destroy both the past and the present along with it. Yes, Samus can, in fact, destroy the time stream if she so chose to. Powerful stuff. In practice, both abilities in tandem help Samus fend off probability or destiny manipulation from other characters. This one's a bit of a silly one. Of course, we all know about the famous Justin Bailey skin from NES Metroid with the famous green hair. It seems like an old retcon bit of lore from an original game, right? Wrong. In Metroid 2 Remaster, she gets the exact same skin again. But to further prove this is a real ability and not just an Easter egg, we turn to the Super Metroid game manual, where we see that not once, but twice, the normally blonde Samus actually changes her hair color to purple when donning the gravity suit. Just like the ammo drop power, it is unclear from where or why Samus has this ability at all, but what it does explain is why the design of Samus' suit actually changes between games. Given her suits are a part of her will and her body, she is simply exercising her color change / shape-shifting abilities onto her suit at her will. Does having this ability actually help her in combat? Not really, but still cool. This one is actually a duo of abilities. From both Metroid Other M and from Samus and Joey manga, you know that Samus can effectively will herself to have more ammunition by simply concentrating. Meaning, effectively, she has infinite ammunition at all times via energy conversion with the surrounding environment. Couple this with the Crystal Flash from Super Metroid, in which she can sacrifice all her ammunition in order to bring herself back to full HP, and we see that with these 2 abilities in tandem, a lore-accurate Samus Aran has effectively infinite ammo and infinite health, making her extremely tricky to put down if given the opportunity. In fact, the 2 or 3 times she's been truly defeated in canon are from grabs that don't allow her to use her abilities, namely Ravenbeak choking Samus. The other time of note was when Guria merely blows up Samus and her prison ship in that bad ending of Metroid Prime Hunters. Speaking of Samus being extremely difficult to kill, Samus, on top of being able to turn her enemies into item drops and suck the life out of them like the Metroid she is, actually has a lot of control over her own soul. As we see in her battle with Kraid in the manga, Samus' soul actually leaves her body behind to talk to the ghost of Greyvoice. In fact, I've covered this topic in a previous video for those who are interested, but to keep it short and simple, she's returned to life in other occasions, such as when Ravenbeak kills her near the end of Metroid Dread, and turning back to the manga, when she has her life energy sucked out of her to power a celestial gate, simply being reunited with the power-ups of her suit contains enough of her life essence to return her to life. So between her ability to leave and re-enter her body at will, and her ability to have virtually limitless vitality and infinite ammunition, Samus is almost impossible to beat in a war of attrition. A fairly innocuous skill set that I think many take for granted. While Samus is, of course, by her nature, mostly a ranged fighter, in Metroid Dread we finally get to see a little bit of Samus showing off her ability to manhandle massive monsters like Corpius or even Kraid. However, it is in the manga where we see Samus' martial arts abilities on full display. We first see it when she completely and utterly kicks the shit out of a rival bounty hunter known as Bomad, and lays his ass out on the ground. We see it again in her epic showdown with the henchman known as Knight, who wields a giant buster sword that Samus has no problem getting in close and personal with. While she isn't the greatest martial artist in fiction, if it comes down to a scrap, especially when it comes to her newly unlocked Metroid powers, do not count Samus out. Well, you've reached the end of the video. Thank you for watching. If you like this content, please like, share, and subscribe to see more content like this. And you know how I leave you. Be safe, be wise, and please pray for a true peace in space.